Jonson marah-marah ada cuti. Selangor pun baru baca news of the day lah.
Tak, yang bila you sebut semalam, I ingat dia akan beri
Esok.
cuti selepas.
Okay.
But if it is one day before,
Okay.
it's good.
Ya, membolehkan orang semua balik
But
kampung
we didn't greet our viewers.
oh.
Hello, good evening. Assalamualaikum.
Apa yang mereka tak tahu, Jonson, adalah sebelum kita ke udara, kita dah rancak dah bermula sebenarnya. Jadi bila kita ke udara je pukul 6, kita terus sambung apa yang kita bincang tadi.
Okay.
Hari ni, Assalamualaikum, salam ibah dengan saya Syed dan
Jonson.
Jonson. Saya selalu salah sebut nama dia James. James kawan kita seorang lagi.
Kadang-kadang Jason pula.
Jason abang dia. Tak apa. Jonson, hari ni ada dua tetamu yang kita bawa dan salah seorangnya telah pun kita temu bual lebih awal. Nanti kita akan kongsikan. Tetapi kita ada tetamu yang bersama dengan kita secara live. Saya nak beri ruang. Jonson, siapa tetamu kita live hari ni?
Dr. Bu Cheng Hao from DAP.
Good evening, everyone.
Hai Doktor, apa khabar?
The State Committee member and former leader of DAP Johor, if I'm not mistaken.
Ya. Ini nama besar dalam DAP. Cuma tidak bertanding, tapi itu soal kekeluargaan mereka lah.
Seperti yang disebut oleh SASHI KUMAR. Family issue. Okay, we won't touch on that first. So today we are talking about votes or ethnic votes, or in Malay, Undi Etnik. Basically talking about, voting along racial lines or racial politics. So can I start by asking, knowing that you're a highly intelligent man, Doctor.
Thanks.
I call you a PhD. Okay. So, you see, earlier today we spoke to a youth leader from MIC, SASHI KUMAR, and he was trying to tell us that, there is still a need for mono-ethnic parties, whereas PH parties are multiracial parties, right? Do you see that as a hindrance or something that is very positive in terms of actual pragmatic election campaigns? Because we hear that a lot of BN votes are moving away from BN, but not to PH, is going to
Perikatan.
PN.
Perikatan.
So how do you see that dynamic?
Jonson, I think we have made a lot of progress since 2008. After forming Pakatan Rakyat and then now Pakatan Harapan, we always insist that multiculturalism is the future for Malaysia, where they are selling. And even though how difficult it is, many quarters of the political arena, powers that be, they want to maintain their race-based politics in order to hold on to power. We have to face a challenge, and we have to try to overcome it. And we have achieved quite a bit, since 2008, especially for DAP, PKR, and also Amanah. Even though PKR and Amanah are Malay majority, and DAP is Chinese majority. It's very different from being a Chinese chauvinistic party. We are being Chinese majority, but it's multicultural. I always give a very simple analogy. As a Chinese doctor, I hire Malay staff. But one thing is very important. We as doctors either be Malay, Indian, or Chinese. We cannot hire our staff based on racial lines, one thing. And we cannot reject any patient based on race. And this is segregation that is very bad for the country. And as being a Chinese doctor, you have to expect that the majority of my patients are Chinese. And I got quite a lot of Indian and Malay patients as well. Maybe make up about 30-40%. And when I ran for elections, I was told, actually my Malay votes in 2013, it reached about 40%. Maybe even higher than my other, PKR or past counterparts. And that is the thing that we have to, as politicians or as conscientious politicians, we have to hold on to the principles that Malaysia is a multicultural country with the reality that even though Malay and Muslims are the majority, we have to accept all these facts. Even we have people are saying that we used to close down all the vernacular schools, either even just maintain national school, maybe with English as a second language, and we have closed the Chinese, Tamil medium, or even other native languages. But these are the people who run race-based parties, MIC, MCA, and UMNO. UMNO is the one that has been talking about want to close up vernacular schools, but they cannot even run primary schools multiculturally. How they can run politics multiculturally and unite all Malaysians? No, they are the key factors to divide Malaysians socially, politically, and mentally. If any Malaysian can sit down and talk and have fun, in the cafe, in any, even now, the only place I can see that really can unite all Malaysians, to see all Malaysians together, ironically, is McDonald's. Or the fast food, or KFC. I think that is really, it's very ironical. I mean, we cannot see all Malaysians sit in one political party. Only you see them in McDonald's and KFC, or the Western, fast food outlets. No, Pizza Hut. How ironical it is for us as Malaysians.
So I know, Munawar likes to bring things back to
PRU.
To the PRU, and in fact that is the name of our show, Malaysia di Persimpangan PRU 15, Malaysia at Crossroads. So compared to the past, you've been in politics for some time. Do you see that the voters are moving away from race identity when they vote? So an example I'm looking at, I was trying to look for the demographics, but I couldn't find it. Sharizan is fielded in Bangi. I assume there's quite a big non-Malay, or there is also Malay. But previously it was Ong Kian Ming, right? So what kind of calculations went into that before he was fielded there?
I think the majority of urban voters are willing and have been voting for candidates from according to partisan line or according to a party that represent. They can vote, I think, multiculturally. That's how we won Selangor and Penang governments in the 2008. That trend has been very positive. But unfortunately, I think this election we are facing a very difficulty because just for being government in 22 months, Pakatan Harapan, we were not able to fulfill or seem to be sincerely wanted to fulfill certain promises. And that's not all our faults by the Pakatan Harapan component parties, the multicultural parties. I think very largely from our skipper of the ship, there is a prime minister. Tun Mahathir has been known to be a Malay nationalist. He doesn't believe in multicultural parties or politics, and he's the one who promote Ketuhanan Melayu, not Ketuhanan Rakyat, as proposed by Anwar Ibrahim and PKR, and also a Malaysian by DAP. We try to unite all Malaysians regardless of race and creeds, and that sometimes we expect that it's ups and downs in politics. Now it's a downward trend for accepting multiculturalism, and the same tactic that used by BN with various race-based component parties to divide and rule. They try to instigate the sentiments of race and religion to appease the majority, and not until certain bread and butter issue really affect all the communities. I think it will be very tough for Pakatan Harapan in a moment. That means that our future is bleak. It's only at the downturn at the moment.
Dr. Bu, Dr. Bu menyatakan bahawa sudah ada progres dalam konteks kempen politik pada jalur kaum ini ya. Walaupun saya boleh bersetuju itu, tetapi realitinya menjelang PRU yang tinggal 8 hari 9 hari ini, akhirnya pelabelan itu memudahkan kempen. Apabila mengatakan bahawa kalau Pakatan Harapan maka DAP, maka Cina, maka Komunis, ini soal pelabelan yang seolah-olah macam 8 hari ini bukan kesempatan untuk kita jelaskan dah. tak sempat dah 8 hari ini untuk kita address perkara-perkara sebegini, dan semakin pecah kelompok Melayu ni, kita dah ada Perikatan, Pejuang lagi, di bawah GTA, kita ada Putra. Semakin berpecah, semakin pelabelan itu memudahkan kempen. Jadi yang doktor kata progres itu di mana?
Progres itu adalah dari segi jangka masa panjang. Sebenarnya sekarang tak kira pansa, baik pemilih orang Melayu ke Cina ke India, mereka memilih ikut bukan saja perasaan perkauman. Yang penting satu, kualiti calon-calon masing-masing, dan juga apa manifesto dan janji yang dibawa oleh pakatan masing-masing atau barisan atau perikatan. Yang ada sedikit kelemahan Pakatan Harapan adalah sebab kita masa menjadi kerajaan selama 22 bulan saja dan dipimpini oleh seorang pemimpin yang tidak percayai manifesto kita sendiri. Dan pemilih itu, kehilangan keyakinan pemilih terhadap Pakatan Harapan adalah dalam jangka masa pendek ini. Tapi sebab pilihan raya dan masa kempen ni, jangka masa ini, tempoh masa ni adalah pendek sangat. Itu oleh itu kita kena meminta maaf dan juga memberikan naratif yang baru dalam 8 hari ini. Saya rasa ada kemungkinan kita boleh menuraikan misi ini. Tapi yang penting tu kita kena mengakui kesilapan kita semasa 22 bulan masa menjadi kerajaan. Dan we have to be honest, kita kena secara ikhlas meminta maaf dan bergerak ke depan. Dan saya rasa majoriti pengundi akan memaafkan kita, dan juga mereka merasai Barisan Nasional ini memang kerap, dan pencaruan Jaya Hamidi itu sendiri sebenarnya memberikan kelebihan kepada pembanggan sama ada perikatan ataupun pakatan. Yang penting tu kita kena membuat satu pembatasan yang jelas, iaitu Perikatan Nasional itu sebenarnya adalah bekerjasama atau bersekongkong dengan Barisan Nasional, dan Pakatan Harapan itu adalah satu barisan yang mempunyai visi yang ketara untuk masa depan negara kita.
Tapi kelihatannya ketakutan bila berlaku pelabelan ini sangat mudah, dan saya perhatikan ia bukan hanya termakan berkesan kepada khalayak yang biasa-biasa, termasuk kalangan yang terdidik, termasuk PhD holders and educated man yourself, termasuk profesor. Dia ketakutan itu berada dalam siege mentality, bahawa kalaulah tidak Perikatan atau Barisan Nasional, maka memang Malaysia ini akan berada di dalam cengkaman, khususnya disebut China. Bagaimana respon doktor kepada ketakutan majoriti Melayu termasuk kelompok yang terdidik ini?
Ini propaganda dia telah diperdayakan selama-lama ini, dan yang penting tu kita kena berusaha dan bertugas lumus untuk memberikan naratif yang positif dan ketara. Dan taruhan sangka pun sekarang rusuhan dah berlaku di Iraq sebab di bawah satu pemerintah yang zalim, yang tidak yang ada tidak menuraikan kehendak rakyat mereka. So itu kerana makan masa kita nak mengarahkan propaganda ini. Itu makan masa. Bukan dalam 8 hari boleh ditunaikan. Saya rasa kita memang ada track record yang baik. Itu salah satu cara kita menunjukkan kejujuran dan kebolehan Pakatan Harapan. Dan kita Pakatan Harapan mentadbir uruskan kerajaan Selangor dan Pulau Pinang 3 Bengal dengan keputusan yang memang menggalakkan. Dan itu salah satu cara kita boleh memupuk lagi sokongan kita di antara khasnya kalangan Melayu dan juga Muslim. Saya rasa ini akan berjaya, cuma kita kena mengakui kesilapan kita masa kita
22 bulan
menjadi kerajaan selama 20 tahun tu. Itu sebab itu pandangan saya pada waktu itu. Saya telah memberikan amaran bahawa kita memberikan peluang untuk bersatu dan Tung M untuk mendominasikan kerajaan Pakatan Harapan. Itu merupakan satu bahaya sebab mereka tidak percaya kepada multiculturalism atau mengakui realiti bahawa Malaysia adalah didirikan oleh pelbagai gaum bangsa dan budaya dan agama. Itulah saya rasa kita kena menjanakan balik propaganda itu bahawa ini adalah satu realiti yang dihadapi oleh Malaysia. Kita semakin mundur adalah sebabkan kita isu-isu seharian seperti korupsi, rasuah dan juga kelemahan sistem pendidikan, dan juga sebab pemimpin kita yang kurang jujur. Yang penting tu ialah illicit capital outflow, iaitu wang haram dibawa keluar dari negara kita dan menjejaskan ekonomi. Dan wang ini dibawa secara haram tanpa membayar cukai ke negara lain adalah yang lebih daripada piutang kerajaan kita. So itu isu-isu yang kita kena menyedari. Hasilnya gerangan yang berilmu, ada PhD yang ada profesor universiti itu terpengaruh oleh propaganda perkauman hasilnya, dan telah menutup mata mereka, dan kita kena menjelitkan mata mereka bahawa yang isu yang lebih penting adalah rasuah, dan telah melipatkan bukan saja kalangan bawahan, yang penting itu melipatkan kalangan tertinggi, kepimpinan kita yang tertinggi. Oleh itu saya rasa Anwar Ibrahim adalah salah satu pemimpin yang boleh selamatkan negara ini.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Bu. So you mentioned that PH needs to be honest, acknowledge the mistakes that they've made, and you have also sort of indicated that the whole mess was basically because of Dr. Mahathir and Bersatu. Do you also see, because there's a lot of talk about the arrogance of some DAP ministers, do you see that DAP itself had a big role in the fall of the PH government in the Sheraton move? What led to the Sheraton move was that the Malay colleagues were not comfortable with the way some DAP ministers were behaving, so they started to find a way to get DAP out of the way. Do you think that narrative has any merit to it?
Yeah, I think partly, not solely. Some of our ministers, I did speak to them, and I think our grassroots also tried to advise them, but unfortunately they didn't take into the grassroots response seriously. And then also their lack of experience in policy making, and unlike even BN is very corrupt and it's very how would I say that, it's very inefficient in certain ways, but they've been in government for very long, and they have the support of the civil servants, and also they collect intelligence from the grassroots, and this is the part that we're lacking. We didn't treat becoming a government or running a government seriously. Also, and more importantly, I think it's like a ship. You have a skipper doesn't navigate the ship according to the map or the compass. It's just the way he just go with his own wish. I think we had to admit that we cannot solely blame on Dr. Mahathir. Dr. Mahathir is a very strong-willed man, and he's very straightforward, and we know his beliefs, and we know what he's done in the past, that right or wrongs, and we know, but you really need to give up the whole leadership direction, directions to one man that whose ideology is in totally contrasting to what Pakatan Harapan is standing for.
We get that point. Okay, so thanks for acknowledging that DAP had a role to play in that. Actually, in your statements just now, you mentioned corruption a few times. Now, as you know, Lim Guan Eng has been charged before. Charges has been dropped. Now there are still charges again. There's another case that's come up, right? In fact, to some people, Lim Guan Eng has become a liability for DAP. Do you see that, or is this something that can be openly discussed in party meetings, or no, this is a no-go zone?
I think I made my stand very clear, even in open statement. I cannot tell Lim Kuan Yew what to do, but if I were him in the same situation, I think we need to take on a great political responsibility, not only being a liability to the party or until after elections and we are a bit lost and we try to blame on each other. But very importantly, we have to set an example. If he's proven innocent by the court, I mean, there's always welcome. He will always be welcomed by the party members and by the public to return to politics.
So you mean to say he shouldn't stand?
Pardon me?
Do you mean to say he shouldn't stand this round?
Yeah, I think I made my stand very clear, even before the last election in G14. That's why I was dropped. And but I have taken it quite easily, and I think that I have to make my stand very clear that we DAP have to abide by what we preach. I think you cannot always claim the political persecution. I stood with him when he was faced a charge for under the Publication Act involving a rape, allegedly rape on a 15-year-old Malay girl. That was back in the 1997, 98, and I thought there was something that more politically motivated. There's a political reason that we have to stand by him. But this time around, I think he has to really let go. Maybe my advice sounds very harsh to him, or to even Sadiq. Opening and ask Sadiq to not stand for election, and Zahid is as well. The standard has to go the same to both the opposition and the ruling party, whoever there is. It doesn't matter who the person is, but we have to keep a standard that all parties have to agree in order to advance our political agenda.
Ya, Doktor, beberapa kali Doktor menyebutkan soal admitting previous mistakes dalam tempoh 22 bulan itu, dan Doktor menghuraikannya insinuate, memberikan gambaran kesilapan-kesilapan yang dilakukan. Tapi kalau diberikan kesempatan ini, boleh Doktor senaraikan antara kesilapan-kesilapan utama semasa 22 bulan itu apa? Sekurang-kurangnya mungkin 3 kesilapan, kalaupun tidak 1 atau 2?
Saya rasa yang penting tu kita terlebih berjanji. Yang adalah lebih mengatasi kebolehan kita untuk menunaikan janji-janji. Dan satu itu adalah menghapuskan GST. Pada waktu itu sebelum pilihan raya, saya telah membawa pandangan saya kepada pucuk pimpinan. Saya kata kita tak tahu, kita belum menjadi kerajaan. Kalau kita pada prinsip kita boleh sepatutnya menghapuskan GST. Pada realiti, kalau kita menjadi kerajaan, kalau tak ada GST, di mana kita akan mencari hasil pendapatan kepada kerajaan? Mungkin kita, sebenarnya saya cadangkan kita kena moderate untuk moderate huraian itu, sebagai kita akan menghapuskan GST secara berperingkat sehingga kita mampu untuk menanggung perbelanjaan kerajaan dan juga mencari sumber hasil pendapatan untuk kerajaan. Dan bila kita hapuskan GST, zero rated lah, bukan hapuskan zero rated GST, kita mendapati bahawa ketidakcukupan untuk mentapi uruskan kerajaan, kita terpaksa mengenakan cukai-cukai baru sepertinya property tax dan sebagainya. So itu menjadikan satu kontroversi yang tidak membawa sebarang manfaat kepada ada keyakinan kepada kerajaan baru Pakatan Harapan pada waktu itu. Lagi satu, kita kata nak menghapuskan TOP. Itu jadilah satu kita belum menggaji apa kontrak telah ditandatangani di antara syarikat-syarikat tertentu dan juga dengan kerajaan. So all this semua ini melibatkan satu sikap yang cuai untuk berjanji lebih daripada kebolehan kita untuk menunaikan janji kita. Lagi satu adalah UEC. UEC itu telah membangkitkan kemarahan antara hasil karangan masyarakat Cina, sebab kita terlebih janji kata kita boleh mengiktiraf UEC itu sebab kita menjadi kerajaan. Tapi kita mesti ingat ini melibatkan bukan saja keizinan kerajaan itu sendiri, keazaman kerajaan itu sendiri, tapi itu juga melibatkan undang-undang dan perlembagaan dan juga sikap penjawat awam. Adakah mereka boleh menerima satu sistem pendidikan yang lebih terbuka kepada semua budaya dan bahasa? Itulah maka masa kita nak kaji, bukan itu jadi yang baik, tapi dari cara kita nak menjalankan tugas itu, kita kena mengambil kira perasaan dan juga input lah dari semua pihak lah.
So it was overselling, basically. Overselling, right?
Over-promising. I was going to say over-promising. Over-promising. It's something that all politicians and all political parties should be very cautious about.
Right. So the other day, I had the chance to ask Syed Saddiq during a fundraising dinner. I've raised this question before. And to me, this is actually quite an easy thing to have done. And I'm also a friend of Gobin's, and his father has always fought against the Sedition Act, and he has too. And to me, to abolish the Sedition Act would have been such an easy thing to do. So what do you think actually transpired? Because Syed Saddiq said, because the Home Minister was resistant and all that, maybe now they're on opposing sides, they're trying to put the blame on Muhyiddin and Perikatan.
Yeah.
But what is your opinion on that? Because for me, that is a very important block in terms of democracy, obstacle to democracy. If people cannot speak up, cannot speak what they think honestly, then how can we progress?
Yeah, I agree with you, and we have to be seen manifestly that we are standing by our own principles, our own promises, even though we cannot achieve it, in one day or two. We have to admit that it takes time to convince all parties, not only our own members, but more importantly, the opposite side. We have to come to a consensus. Like what we have achieved with anti-hopping law. It takes both sides, all divides, to come to an agreement that we need changes. And anti-hopping law is a big achievement. Not that Pakatan Harapan never achieved anything, but I think anti-hopping law is a big achievement. And also, I agree with you. We have to have a freedom of information and freedom of speech act to lay down the cornerstones for free speech and free expression. To discuss many so-called sensitive issues, even talking about multiculturalism and multilingualism could be blended as seditious. In the older days, we didn't even have a chance to really discuss openly and very rationally about how important it is for multiculturalism to be seen and multilingualism to be seen as asset to our own country. So I agree with you that we have to do away with the Sedition Act. We should not point fingers at anybody, but they should have been included in the agreement. What do you call it? This the agreement with government, including anti-hopping law, and I think this
the MOU. You mean?
Yeah, MOU. Sorry, the MOU. Yeah. It should have been included more broadly. There are many issues that should have been included in MOU, not only the anti-hopping law.
Okay, we have strayed away as usual from the topic. So can we come back? The impression that we are getting is that the Chinese have made up their minds who they are voting for, and it seems it's likely the opposition, most likely the opposition. Yeah. But at the same time, there is a contradictory force in the sense that I was asking, was it Ben yesterday? How would the businesses or the market respond if PH came into power? And some of our guests said it will not be positive because of what happened last time, and it was not so business friendly. So to me, this is a bit of a contradiction because the Chinese are quite dominant in business, and yet at the same time they want a better government, and they are willing to vote for the
stability, as you say.
I think they are expecting whoever comes into power with a stronger, bigger majority who really can formulate the policy and carry out the policies. I think the last time around, we didn't have enough domination over the policy making. It was a smaller party, minority party like Bersatu dominate the whole picture. If we Pakatan Harapan and PKR and Amanah is come into government with a big majority, even over simple majority, and good enough to carry out policies and formulate new laws and to reconsolidate investors' confidence, I think they will go for it. Though most importantly, we don't want to be seen to form a very small minority government. That has to be the fact. And the situation now is that there are three corner. I mean, the votes are actually split. The spot split among Perikatan Nasional, Pakatan Harapan, and Barisan Nasional. So until the last minute, we wouldn't know the few 30% of uncertain voters. They are likely to go for Pakatan Harapan or Perikatan or Barisan, and it's quite unlikely they will go for Barisan Nasional. I think it's either between Perikatan or Pakatan. So hopefully we will do enough work and use the right strategy to attract these 30% of uncertain voters.
Dr. Bu, this is my last question to you. Tajuk kita adalah tentang undi etnik, dan DAP digambarkan sebagai parti yang dikuasai oleh masyarakat Cina majoritinya, tetapi menampilkan semakin ramai calon Melayu dan ada yang menuduh dengan prasangka persepsi mengatakan bahawa calon-calon Melayu DAP ini hanyalah gula-gula untuk mengaburi dan mereka digunakan. Respon balas Dr. Bu.
Itu adalah satu komen yang kurang adil. Tak ada orang mempersoalkan MCA adalah satu parti Cina. Semua ahli pemimpin mereka adalah Cina. MIC begitu juga. Semua pemimpin dan ahli mereka adalah dari kaum India. Dan juga dengan UMNO. 100% adalah Melayu dan Muslim. Dan mereka adalah gula-gula, kalau sebagai window dressing ada gula-gula. Kalau sebahagian kecil ahli mereka adalah bumi putera dari Sabah dan Sarawak. So itu merupakan satu komen yang kurang rasional dan kurang bijak, sebab kita DAP kita telah cuba sedaya upaya dan kita selalu terpekat dari masa pendirian penubuhan DAP. I kata kalau ini klinik kita doktor itu Cina, kita kata ini klinik Cina. Sebab kita kalau ada pesakit walaupun Melayu pun, I pernah melawati ramai pesakit Melayu secara percuma. Atau ini chauvinis. Tak you tak persoalkan kalau ada klinik kata ini klinik Melayu, orang Cina tak boleh masuk, atau klinik Cina orang Melayu tak boleh masuk. So itu satu pendirian kita sebagai parti politik dan pemimpin politik, kita kena meneladani masyarakat kita. Bukan di sebaliknya.
Doktor jangan marah saya bertanya supaya doktor ada ruang nak menjawab.
Tak, saya tak marah sebab itu satu
saya uji doktor.
In fact, I have a question for Sayed.
For myself.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm curious, when people make these kinds of comments about DAP, do the Malays believe it? Do they accept this?
Ada yang bersetuju. Sebab itu saya gambarkan di awal tadi, termasuk mereka yang terpelajar. Menganggap bahawa betul.
So to me, I want to add to what Dr. Bu said, not because I want to defend DAP, I'm not a member of any party, but I have Malay friends, at least two that I can think of now, who joined. And I
join DAP.
And one of them is fielded in Bangi, right? And these are intelligent people who really believe in the fight for justice, right? So
kita perlu bawa Syarizan dalam rancangan ini dan kita drill dia tentang
sebut 300,000 voters
online saja.
And a famous, quite an influential Twitter personality, Bumi Langit. He's also joined DAP. So, and he was from PKR. So, there must be something better in DAP that's made them go there, right?
Soalan saya itu supaya doktor punya ruang untuk menjawab dan didengari oleh audiens kita. Alright. So, doktor, kami berjanji untuk bersama doktor selama setengah jam dan kini sudah lebih 5 minit konsesi masa yang diberikan. Doktor perlu datang semula. Lebih lagi lepas PRU nanti. Banyak lagi kita ingin doktor dia panggil apa? Drill lah, postmortem lah kan. Doktor, kalau doktor postmortem lah. Doktor kita akan postmortem.
Siapa nama postmortem?
Okey Dr. Bu, terima kasih kerana bersama kami.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you
again.
Okey, jadi tema kita hari ini adalah tentang undi etnik. Kalau tadi kita dah dengar daripada Dr. Bu, kita juga sudah merakam awal SASHI KUMAR MURUGAYA Ketua Pemuda MIC Wilayah Persekutuan dan juga Ketua Pemuda MIC Batu. Jadi Jonson, kita ikuti temu awal kami bersama SASHI KUMAR. Ya, seperti yang dijanjikan, kita ada temu bual awal bersama tetamu. Walaupun dalam poster Jonson kita kata ada 2 tetamu, tetapi salah seorang tetamu ini perlu kita temu bual lebih awal kerana komitmen berkempennya. Dan katanya kempen kawasan dia pun berapa penjuru? 10 penjuru Jonson. So would you like to introduce our guest for today? Jonson, silakan.
Yes, it is my pleasure to introduce SASHI KUMAR, the MIC Youth Chief for Wilayah Persekutuan and also for Batu. Are you campaigning in Batu?
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Jonson and Encik Sheikh for inviting me. Yes, Batu consider the hot seat. So we have to campaign every day, morning till night, back to back.
How many Indian voters there? How many percent?
In Batu, the Indian voters are 18%, comprising of the latest statistic about 20 plus thousand. So let me give you the exact number. Batu, kalau ikut pecahan kaum, we have, you see, Batu is considered one of the highest with Indian voters. 18.2% with 20,665 Indian voters, kaum India.
Dengan Jonson, saya tanya kepada SASHI, dengan 18% itu digambarkan tadi bahawa Batu adalah merupakan antara konstituensi yang mempunyai peratusan pengundi India yang tertinggi. Jadi adakah ini bermakna kempen-kempen yang setakat SASHI perhatikan sedang berlangsung ada menyentuh soal kepentingan masyarakat India secara spesifik di Batu?
Okey, kalau memandangkan most Indian voters are in Batu, kita boleh cakap the urban crowds. So for the urban crowd, dia ada masalah-masalah spesifik. Tetapi kalau in terms of Batu, there is no such thing specifically yang kita boleh highlight Indian problem. Tapi dulu ada. Dulu pernah kita pernah ada kampung railway, kebanyakan kaki tangan pun most Indians stay there. So dia orang ada masalah perumahan. Bila ada development, then rumah-rumah mereka dirobohkan, then we have to give them alternative and all that. So masa ini lebih kurang 10-15 tahun dulu pernah ada masalah ni. Tapi sekarang tiada masalah sebegitu. Hanya masalah yang kita boleh highlight sekarang berkaitan dengan kaum India adalah kita ada 3 sekolah Tamil di Batu. Antaranya satu sekolah Tamil adalah sekolah perempuan, sekolah penuh perempuan. So sekolah perempuan ni in Malaysia for Tamil school, for Tamil girls school hanya ada 2 saja. Satu di Negeri Perak dan satu di Kuala Lumpur di Batu. So dia ada specifically problem in terms of few students, macam masalah biasalah for students yang ada kekangan kewangan and all that family problem. So and then ada satu lagi for Indians in terms of Indian problem in Batu adalah masalah-masalah yang berkaitan dengan tempat ibadat. So tapi saya perhatikan dalam pilihan raya ini tiada calon-calon atau parti-parti yang khususnya highlight this problem. So that means dalam kempen ni answering to saudara Syed tadi tu, I can't see much that are tackling specifically Indian problems.
That is in a way not surprising because the candidates are very different, right? They come from different backgrounds and they have different focus. Now this question has popped up before. Why are so many people contesting in Batu? What is so good there? What is so attractive about Batu?
Okay, answering to this question, I think Batu become a hot seat apabila we had an incumbent member of parliament who said become a MP at the age of 22.
Oh,
Prabhakaran. So youngest in Malaysian history to become an MP. So pada masa itu we was facing political tsunami politik. So the time he came in as an independent candidate. Tapi then after Tian Chua lost his eligibility to stand in election, then he endorsed Prabhakaran, and then he won with a majority of a big majority. So then people saw, okay, in Batu the voters are not really apa yang kita cakap voters in terms of the trade of Batu voters. They can vote anyone who they think they can oppose the giants. Okay. So I think this is what made, apart from the big four parties, kita dah ada individuals such as activists. We got few activists, and then we have a local candidate, and also from outside Batu constitution also. So I think apa yang mereka tanggapan mereka adalah Batu is a winnable seat for anybody who contests as an independent or even as a small party. I think this attracts many candidates into Batu in PRU 15.
Masih saya nak Jonson, sila. Jonson angkat tangan.
No, I thought we should just clarify to our viewers that today tajuk is Undi Etnik or ethnic votes. I would say, or even the issue of voting along ethnic lines, and obviously that is related to ethnic or mono-ethnic political parties. Now, you're a young man, relatively young man. When did you join MIC, and why did you choose MIC? Because MIC seems to only represent the Indian interests. Can you share with us, Sashi?
Good question. I joined MIC when I was 18, and become active 7 years ago. At the age of 31, I become very active. So the reason I chose MIC is, MIC is a party. Kalau kita tengok all the parties in Malaysia now, MIC considered the oldest party. It's the oldest party. Oldest party, because our last AGM was 70 plus years AGM. Okay, and then it has the constitution and also a system that already went through 7 decades. Okay, and the constitution, the system. So this attracts me. Is a solid party with a very solid principle, fighting for the rights of the Indian community. Okay, but when we say, okay, nowadays youngsters, they say why we need race-based party. If let's say these parties, we can't have all the race there. If you join this party, you only support you only fight for one race cause. I say, okay, the party is a race-based party, but when we form a government, it's a coalition government comprising of all the races. So the government is still uphold the multiracial agenda. So in a family, in a BN family, so we have the member of that family, we bring Indian community problems. And then other parties bring their problems. So I think, in my personal opinion, there must be a party to represent minority interests, so that in the bigger scale. So if let's say everybody goes for a multiracial kind of party, then there will be a lacuna, but some pertinent matters can be lost.
Okay. Saya kaitkan jawapan Sashi ini dengan soalan Jonson dan juga penjelasan awal Sashi tadi. Kalau kita letakkan penjelasan itu di dalam kerangka Parlimen Batu, Sashi menggambarkan bahawa Parlimen Batu ni dalam konteks kempennya, walaupun Batu adalah antara, disebut sikit ulang lagi, konstituensi peratusan pengundi India yang tertinggi, antara yang tertinggi. Tetapi inti parti kempennya tidak perlu ataupun tidak lagi menjurus kepada isu-isu berkait tentang masyarakat India. Maka apa realitinya di Malaysia hari ini? Ada yang menggambarkan bahawa pengundi Cina sudah decide, tetapi pengundi Melayu dan India ini peratusannya masih besar yang undecided. Jadi kalau kita kaitkan bahawa kempennya tidak ada kaitan dengan perkauman, realiti di Batu, lalu messaging yang dikatakan kempen-kempen yang terlepas pandang, oversight ini, di mana yang perlu diangkat intipati kempen pada garis kaum India ini?
Okay. I rasa calon-calon sekarang yang berkempen di Batu not touching the Indian point because out of the 4 main party candidates, mostly kita daripada MIC Indian candidate, Harapan Indian candidate, Warisan Indian candidate, and then there's an Indian Muslim who's coming in as independent. Okay. So all these matters, arisen when Indian voters can be the deciding factor of who's winning and who's losing in Batu constituency. Okay, but if all these candidates focus only on Indian votes, then it will be like all these people are only championing and dia akan nampak macam we are going there only to meraih Indian voters so that can win the election. So there is a danger there when we put Indian agenda at first. So because even the minority community, okay, we want to champion their rights, and that agenda cannot jeopardize the whole campaign. I think that is why all the candidates are very careful in bringing this agenda. So the cara bercampaign semua sama rata. Okay, we are calon for everybody. We are campaigning for everybody. There is no one particular race or religion or ethnic group's agenda put forward in this election. This is not only on BN side. You can see it evidently in all the members who are, all the candidates who are campaigning for the past 1 week.
Okay. So you said that all the candidates are calon for everybody, and they're campaigning in a way that they try to appeal to everybody. Now, there's a very big question mark on Undi 18 and the new voters, but we are more interested in the younger voters because that's the it's a very new development, and young people are not very familiar with politics and may not even be interested. So what is MIC doing differently to try and attract the younger voters and make sure they come out to vote?
Okay, MIC and BN, okay, what we do, we have all the data berapa, because in Batu, out of we have 110 plus thousand voters in PRU 15, and 57,000 adalah daripada lingkungan umur 18 hingga 40. So 18 to 40 we have 57,000, and the first time voters from 18 to 40 we have about 18 to 40 we already have about Undi 18. I can't recall the exact figure, but it's a numerous number within the 57,000. Okay, what we are doing from MIC side is we are identifying this particular group, and then we are trying to understand what is their outlook, what is their political the aspiration, apa yang mereka nak. So mostly this group, the Indian group now, after the age of 18, ini is the time diorang akan melangkah ke Menara Gading or tertiary education. So they want some surety that the education must be a competitive and quality education. After the education, there must be a job placement. They don't want to after bertungkus lumus belajar, mendapat ijazah, and then when go to workforce, then they don't face the challenge. And then now, as you see, at the age of 25, kebanyakan individu, the youngsters are not settling down. They are still struggling towards to buy the first house, towards starting their own family and all that. So the mindset of the 18-year-old, the first time only they can see their brothers and their sisters who's already struggling all this. So they want a simpler, a better, a brighter way forward. So that is why I think one of the advantage for us that we are preaching to the youngsters is if you are from B40 family, the BN manifesto already showed that the education can be free in BN Wing. This is something that already been put in the manifesto. Okay, I think it can be realistic because they're not giving to all the groups, they're targeting B40. I think we can tackle that. And apart from that, we also can show that what is political stability is all about. Okay, last time, out of anger, out of frustration, for obvious reasons, they punished the ruling government of that time. Okay, and then they saw that within that 22 months of ruling period, we had so many political, what they call, so many instability, inconsistency within the government of the day. So all these actually contributed to 22 days of 22 months of instability, which contributed to a lot of pulling out of foreign investors, and then we were not the preferred choice for businesses to come in and all that. So ini semua akan directly and indirectly affect the employability and the job market of these youngsters. So we made them understand all this. So we made them understand why we need a stable leadership, a stable component or coalition to rule the country for another 5 years. So when kita bila put all this forward, so easier for them to evaluate and make a decision when it comes to voting.
Okay. Kita ada pilihan, Jonson, ya, untuk kita memberikan suluhan. If we can either zoom in to Batu ataupun kita boleh zoom out to tema kita lebih besar, melihat national dan juga Undi. Ya, Jonson nak tambah.
I want to zoom out. So thank you for saying that. So we come back to the question is related to what I asked you earlier, why you joined MIC. Now, so in terms of young people, yes, they are very concerned about jobs, their education and all that. That is very basic needs, right? At the same time, I get the feeling that a lot of young people are very idealistic, right? So I wonder if they do take into consideration the fact that MIC is a what do you call mono-ethnic party. Okay, I don't see MIC so much as a racist party, but I see UMNO as a racist party. So my question is, do you think there is going to be a bright future for mono-ethnic parties, or this is going to, sooner or later, all parties will be mono-ethnic? For example, Barisan Nasional, the 3 major parties will just bergabung and it just becomes one party.
Okay, I think it won't happen anytime soon, because kita dalam still in the developing countries category. Okay, and then kita forget about urban. In the rural areas, we still have so many problems that we can't put everybody under one roof. So this model is still relevant in Malaysia, and it's still, I can't predict the future, what will happen in the future, but I think for now, these mono-ethnic parties are still relevant and doing their job. Okay, I can say that one of the sensitive issue when it comes to Indian community and ethnicity is Tamil schools. Tamil schools. You can't touch Tamil school, you can't touch temple. Then it will be a big outrage among the society. Tetapi MIC telah berjuang since independent for the betterment of Tamil school, and MIC become the guardian of Tamil school until now. Okay, then we can see we can compare to our regional in the region, like we can see Thailand and Indonesia. We take Southeast Asia. You can't see a Tamil school, a Chinese school separately, vernacular schools in those countries. But in Malaysia, MIC and MC individually fought for our schools. Okay. So, but you see lately, when during the PH ruling, there were even the leaders, then the Indian leaders within the party, also within the government also, they was telling that, okay, vernacular schools are no more relevant. Let's all merge into one system, education system. For them, vernacular schools are producing more like race-based thinking and all that, the principle. But in fact, I don't buy that. I myself, I'm from a Tamil school. I'm from Tamil school until UPSR. Then I went into secondary school. I'm not a racist. I can mingle with everybody. Okay. So there are products of Tamil schools was still in a top position, even in Malaysia and internationally. So I think as long as Indian community, they see that we need somebody, we need a party untuk memperjuangkan hak-hak asasi kita. If they don't feel that merging all the party into one and these special rights can be overlooked or denied in future, sampai tahap itu, there will be always a small worry with one corner of the heart of every Indians that they can't still let MIC go, because even if we see, even during the last even when we lost, we become opponent. Bila ada isu-isu berkaitan dengan Tamil school or even SOSMA, in SOSMA where they caught a few activists who supported for the group in Sri Lanka, and when it comes to temples, then they look what MIC is doing. Even though we wasn't in government, they want to know what MIC can do. So until these issues and these sentiments are still in Malaysia, I think MIC and this model of the BN model still will be relevant.
Okay. 20 minit kita berbincang. Jonson, kita berjanji dengan SASHI 20 ke 30 minit. Masalah saya adalah daripada jawapan dan juga soalan Jonson tadi dan juga jawapan SASHI, kepala saya berpecah pada tiga cabang. Jadi saya nak beri pilihan itu kepada SASHI, mana yang satu berkait tentang nasional, dua berkait tentang Parlimen Batu, atau yang ketiganya soalan susulan daripada penjelasan SASHI. Satu, dua atau tiga? Which one should be my next question to you? You have a choice.
Okay, you are asking because you are lack of time. My time. Okay, I don't mind. I don't mind. We can go 45 minutes or 50 minutes. I don't mind.
But we don't actually. Our show is only for one hour. We have to end everything by 7. Tapi begini, saya pergi kepada tema kita berkait tentang kaum itu tadi ya. Menarik apa yang SASHI sebutkan. Tetapi itu di luar jadual PRU. Ya, apa menyuarakan itu dalam saluran perlu ada perwakilan jelas. Tetapi apabila diletakkan di dalam pragmatic politik, di Batu sendiri yang 18% itu pun di dalam kempennya itu tidak dibicarakan. Kerana akhirnya race based politik ini dia pragmatik, dia perlu mendapatkan undi dari kaum lain. Ya. Kalau di konstituensi yang peratusan pengundi India tinggi pun kempen PRU-nya tidak perlu menyentuh kaum. Maka dalam konteks peratusan pengundi India di Malaysia hari ini, kita ada 8 hari berbaki ini. Apa mesejnya? Kerana akhirnya yang perlu disantuni undi bukan hanya pada asas kaum atau tidak. Kalau suara itu boleh dibawa oleh seorang calon yang bukan India pun, maka apa masalahnya? SASHI.
Okay, we see the BN component, each candidate dia akan jumpa dengan all the component and then get their support and all that. Okay, so now see our calon pun dia pergi jumpa masyarakat Melayu, dia pergi jumpa masyarakat Cina, dan dia pergi jumpa masyarakat India. But this, because he as a candidate of that constituency representing Barisan Nasional, is MP for all, undeniable. Tapi bila ada sesuatu isu yang dibincangkan di parlimen, there's some let's say abolishment of vernacular schools, we need enough number of Indian candidates members in parliament to voice that out. Okay, MIC, okay, as a Indian based party, issues pertaining Indians, we will stand up and we fight in parliament. But we can't say the same from this Indian candidates or Indian MPs from other party, because they carry the party identity, they carry the party I mean the party's principle. Then there is a tendency of, we have a tendency of even Indian MPs from multiracial party can go against certain things that can what they call not so in favor with the Indian community needs.
Can I have a follow-up question to this, Jonson?
Okay.
Kerana begini, saya sebutkan tadi bahawa selama isu itu dibawa oleh seorang calon yang bukan India, ia masih memenangkan hak masyarakat India. Sebagai contoh, saya pernah mendengar jawapan daripada Nik Nazmi yang mengatakan tidak mungkin kita boleh menutup sistem vernakular di dalam struktur yang ada ini. Sebab siapa saja yang menutupnya, maka dia akan menjadi sebuah parti yang sangat tidak popular kepada legasi yang panjang. Sehingga kan di bawah Barisan Nasional pun setiap kali menjelang PRU, ketika itulah kuota sekolah vernakular akan sentiasa ditambah. Kerana ini adalah lukratif. Ini adalah tagan politik. Jadi kalau strukturnya masih begini, apa yang saya ingin sebut pada SASHI, jangan bimbang. Sekolah vernakular tidak akan tertutup. Ia hanya menjadi momokkan parti-parti berasaskan kaum sahaja. Termasuk yang sedang SASHI gunakan sekarang. Kerana saya sebutkan tadi, kalau calon bebas misalnya, kita kata kita tak akan mungkin boleh tutup. Maka itu bahan kempennya, dia akan menjadi satu idea yang tumpul kalau kita adakannya dalam bentuk perdebatan. Tidak begitu?
Yeah, ready for my answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your
So
response?
you see, one is vernacular. And then kita boleh satu lagi isu yang selalu hangat adalah selepas SPM result comes out, the matriculasi, seat matriculasi.
Okay.
So apa yang terjadi in the previous government, MIC every year will request additional seat. Sampai the highest seat we got when during Dato' Sri Najib's time. Okay.
Yeah.
And then during the last previous government, our seats was reduced. So that
Previous
time,
government means Perikatan Nasional.
PH.
PH.
Okay, all right.
Okay, during PH, the seat was reduced. But but there was not. We wasn't in the government. So we was not on the decision making. But those MPs who so-called they multiracial, they can fight for all the communities. But where were they? And after during Perikatan National's government, and then the blame came back to MIC again. Why we have straight A students still not getting seats in University Awam? What happened? So we have to go and explain to them. We already got more seats, we lost. Now we have to fight back and get more seats. You got it?
Ya. Sama macam kes cabutan judi. 22 kali.
So,
Sila Jonson.
Before I ask my question, I must confess, I am half-hearted. I think provided we have a very good quality education for all Malaysians and they are given the option to learn their mother tongue and have very good Chinese or Tamil teachers, I am actually in favor of abolishing vernacular schools because I believe then we will all be a bit more united. We will assimilate and have a common national identity. But okay, let's not debate about that. I would like to move this discussion forward. A little while back, when Chairman of BN Zahid Hamidi announced the seats, there was a bit of hoo-ha from MIC, macam want to boycott. So what was the merajuk about?
Okay, this one is on the party leadership's final decision because as the president already stated, ini masalah keluarga. Okay. We had on the seat allocation, I think there was some issues, and then the president said, okay, if you're not happy, it's okay. Kami MIC didn't say it's going to come out from BN. He said maybe we will we will let go this election. We won't fight this election. That was what he said. And then next day all was sorted out, and then we went for the election. So I think it's internal family affairs lah. So whatever happened. Okay,
understood. So since you mentioned the president, he is running in Sungai Siput, traditionally the semi-value seat. And also M. Saravanan running in Tapa. I think both these seats are also very hot seats. What's your perspective or the party's perspective on these two hot seats?
Okay, these two seats are MIC's target seat and also is a hot seat. And then looking at how the leaders are working in the constituency and how the ground giving support to them, the party strongly believes and hopes that these two seats will definitely conquered by MIC in PRU 15.
Okay, itu yang kita harapkan. Jonson, saya ada banyak lagi soalan tapi saya ingin berlaku adil dengan janji saya kepada SASHI tadi. Inilah begini.
One last question lah, you tanya.
Kita boleh bawa dia semua. Banyak soalan sebenarnya. Saya tadi bagi 3 kan, saya baru tanya 1. sebagai contoh kalau ada masa panjang, saya ingin tanya dengan SASHI kerana hujah SASHI tadi mengatakan vote for stability. Tetapi realitinya kita tahu selepas 19 November masih tidak akan ada stability kerana tidak ada siapa yang benar-benar mendahului. Jadi hujah stability itu saya rasa mungkin tidak terpakai lah untuk pusingan kali ini. Jonson nak tambah?
Okey, ya saya nak tambah. Dan tadi SASHI Kumar mentioned manifesto, and I know how you feel about manifestos. So they can say stability, they can say free education, but after that, you know, it's like marketing and sales talk.
So itu cuma saya Jonson, saya anggap
I think you one of the victim of the previous manifesto. Am I right?
That is a very good answer.
Tengok orang politik menjawab macam mana, pandai dia kilas.
Pandai dia, ya.
SASHI
Itu
semua pengundi baru saya tengok di Batu ada 45,000.
Yeah.
Dan dulu majoriti hanya 26,000, lebih kurang begitu. Jadi ini cabaran besar ni.
Cabaran besar. Yes.
Bagaimana
because kita dah ada, because if you see in terms of Batu just now, when you ask why Batu become the very hot seat, in terms of development, Batu is a very rapidly growing constituency in KL. Dah ada banyak kondo, dah ada banyak projek-projek kan. When you go through the Jalan Sentul or Jalan Ipoh,
YTL.
YTL came in long time back already, and they are starting one by. I mean, they already have few, but you see like when after the YTL projects, you go further after the Sentul Pasar, you can see a lot of new projects left and right. Even Jalan Ipoh left and right. And the populations number are increasing. But each condo minimum, they're having about 1,000 units, 1 or 2,000 units, right? Like the one is in after the Sentul Pasar Jalan Puncak Sentul, that one condo comprised of almost 3,000 units, and then the opposite one is comprised of 1,000 plus units, and that we can foresee about 4,000 to 5,000 families going to move in only there. So this is increasing the number of voters. Forget about those who come in, they don't change the voting constituency. But those like anak-anak muda yang automatic registration, so they are all becoming Batu voters. And these people are not the traditional orang tempatan or not orang Batu, but these are people coming from outside and become part of big Batu family. And the national sentiment will always, I agree to this, the national political sentiment will always influence the mindset of these voters, because mereka tak faham the local issues, they don't mind much. For them is what happening in the national level. So there's a big challenge for us also.
Jonson, kalau ingat Jim semalam sebut maknanya dalam kempen dalam 8-9 hari berbaki ni akan sangat melihat konstituensi. Lain konstitusi, lain perangai, lain cara melihat isu.
Kerana pengundi dia pun lain. But I actually have many follow-up questions like Syed, but I think we better let you go, and we need to keep to the time of our program as well. So thank you very much.
Kita akan bawa SASHI semula. We're going to bring him back again.
I look forward to you becoming a candidate in G16, and maybe one day, not only the Deputy Prime Minister, maybe even the Prime Minister. Why not, right? But anyway, that's a hopeful perspective. But thank you very much, SASHI Kumar. We appreciate you taking the time, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chong. Thank you so much, Encik Syed. Nice to meet you guys. All the best.
Good luck.
We meet up again. Take care.
Thank you.